Hey everyone, this is another video review, and this is not Transformers, of course. This is, of course, the Soul of Chogokin GX-78 Dragonzord, Dragon Caesar, whatever you want to call it, Super Sentai, what was it? Zoo Ranger or Power Rangers? Yeah, Dragonzord. That's all I've seen. That's how it says on the box, at least this box. So, of course, there's a figure, which we'll get to in a bit, and well, here's the box. Yes, you can see it's a fairly large, glossy box. You can see Soul of Chogokin and Dragonzord and all that stuff. And look, there's the combined mode face in Japanese and Dragonzord and Power Rangers. Which this tells me it's just, I'm not sure. I heard that there was not a second, like unlike the Megazord, which came in two different boxes for for the Japanese and American releases. I heard this was the same release, but I don't know. I think they might have just done a thing of like this says Dragon Caesar and this is Dragonzord. Got both logos just to save on printing or whatever. But yeah, there's the front of the box. There's the top. You can see more stuff. On the bottom, there's a shot of the Dragonzord. On the side, you got another shot of the Dragonzord. On this side, hey look, a shot of the Dragonzord. On the back, hey look, the stuff it can do when combined with the other Zords. Whatnot, do that, do a bunch of stuff, and words I can't read. And also a little sticker from Bluefin, because that's who imports stuff from Bandai Japan a lot. Especially now, since Hasbro now has the license to Power Rangers. But yeah, it's Dragonzord, and there's a little bit of stuff on him. And it also comes with this booklet, which, well, instructions, how to mess with it and whatnot. There's a couple warnings in there too, as well. And it also comes with these things, which we'll get to in a bit. And there's staff and some alternate hands, although these are the alternate hands currently on there because it makes things a little easier for me. Anyway, we'll get to those in a bit. But yes, this is Dragonzord. You can see he's, well, silver, black, green, and gold. It's pretty big too. It's pretty hefty. It's not quite as tall as the original, but it's still pretty good size. You also see he's got a pretty long tail and everything. It looks really nice. You also see reflective chrome and probably me in there. So, oops. Yeah. You got chromed toes and everything. It's a really nice figure. Mine's got a little couple things. Like this hand has a little scratch on the paint. I'm not sure how well to pick it up, but there's a little tiny scratch there. There's also a little tiny, he just did his signature move on the camera. But a little tiny scuff right there. But yeah, I think some of those are my fault. But yeah, it's definitely the Dragonzord. And unlike the original Dragonzord, it actually can move a bit. For one thing, up here at the mouth, you can see mouth can open and close with no springing back or anything. It's not soft plastic. So that can open and close. His arms can still move up and down like this. You can still do that if you want, but it looks, well, not great. His hands can twist because they're on ball joints. They can move up and down a little bit. Yeah, you can see there's also little holes, in the fingertips for, him shooting stuff. No electronics, unlike the original one. There's no electronics here, which actually I'm kind of glad for, because that would just, well, that would have been impossible because of what they were doing with this guy. There is an ab crunch warning, and this actually instructions warn you about this as well. When you use the ab crunch, get that out of the way. You want to lift this part away, because otherwise you'll scratch up the green and gold paint here. You want to lift this part away, and then you can move it. So you can use the ab crunch, just be afraid. When you do that, just lift that away a little bit, and then you can use the ab crunch. And it's hard to do this on camera because, yeah, but it does have it. Just be careful with it. He has hips, which ratchet, you can hear that. There is a tiny bit of like side to side here, you can see that. A tiny bit there. The thing is, there is not really much of any outward. It's like very little. You can see there's a little tiny bit, but that's about the range of it. There is knees though. Pretty smooth knees. They go about this far. If you move this thing out of the way though, move that out of the way, you get a little more range. But yeah, just know that. And there's quite a bit of ankle tilt, actually, quite a bit. See that, which is weird because there's not enough. There's more ankle tilt than is necessary because the hips they barely move, which stinks. And also there's a little bit of forward and back as well on the feet. But yeah, unfortunately, because the hips barely move, they don't really work as well as they should. And there's this tail. Tail can move up and down there. There's a little bit of movement there, but but yeah, each one of these, you know, has a little joint, so a little ball joint there, so all these can move. Spin them a bit, you can move them about. Only thing is, there's only so much of a range before they pop off. They are supposed to pop off, by the way. This one, and mostly what you do is you can actually see that, extend it so you get a little more range, and then collapse it in for, you know, hold it straight. This one, I think, this one can extend a little bit, but not a lot. But it does extend. Yeah, you can straighten out the tail and whatnot if you want. You know, ramrod straight. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to curl the tail. You can curl it actually pretty far. And it holds. That's the nice thing, is these ball joints are nice and tough, so it holds pretty well. It holds position wherever you put it, so that's really nice. But anyway, yeah, this is actually a pretty solid thing. It's, like I said, it's really heavy. It's also smaller than the original a little bit. In fact, got my original one right here. Yeah, you can see that it's a tiny bit smaller. I think this thing's like really chunky compared to the show, but this one works really well in the proportions. This has more, I guess, correct proportions. This one does. Also doesn't have weird Power Ranger stuff all over it instead of the more intricate stuff. Yeah, you can see the proportions are different, and it's a little bit shorter. You can see the heads are slightly different sizes and everything, but yeah, it's just proportionally a little different. And of course, because I have it here as well, here he is with the Soul of Chogokin Megazord, or Daijujin. Daijujin, yeah. You can see, yep, bit of size difference still. Not surprising, there's supposed to be one. Quite a size difference. But yeah, it's you can see that there's, you know, they look pretty good together, all things considered. Just get this out of the way. There we go. There we go. Also, there are fingerprints on this thing because of me. But you can see, yeah, they work well together. Only thing is, this thing is kind of limited in articulation. But he does what he's supposed to do, which is go with him. Which, yeah, it's one of the many things he can do is, well, transform into stuff for the other guy, which we'll get to in just a bit. I actually forgot about this, but real quick before we actually get to the transformation stuff, the hands, I forgot about these, but you can't transform them with these hands attached because they're too wide. You gotta pop them off the ball joints, which doesn't take too much effort. And you can take this one, it's just a simple thing. Just be careful you don't accidentally move this down when you're doing it, because that won't be good. So that'll make it a lot more difficult. But yeah, you need to have the more straightened out hands on there if you want to transform it. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. It will not work if you have the more curled hands. Look nice though. See, there you go. All right, transforming though. We're gonna go ahead and do the big combined mode first, just for, again, ease. Otherwise, I have to reverse everything, annoyingly. So first things first, straighten out this tail. Just straighten it out completely, and then pop it off. Simple. And then move this up. Tail will put off to the side for now. But from there, you also want to open these up. See, there's a little, actually this moves too. That would be, you know, useful for, you know, actually, you guys, you can do that if you want, but yeah, it's anyway. There's a little thing here. You're supposed to, you know, move the hand down and then use this little lever to slide it, but it moves just fine without using it, so I'm not sure what's the point. But yeah, you can just move it like that. Collapse this back in and peg them in. There's little pegs here that go into the holes. There you go. I want to straighten out the legs too. And then you just like the old one, you split it apart. It just splits apart. There's no special buttons or releases or anything, just splits apart. you take the chest piece out, put it off to the side, and then it clicks out. It's nice. It clicks into place now. So it can actually hold and do that if you want. And then, of course, you move this out of the way and open those up, collapse those in, make sure they actually click into place. Now, open those up, collapse this in, click into place. There you go. This is ready. The other thing you want to do is actually move this crest up like that and get this ready out of the way like this far out of the way. This part's ready. Dragonzord is more or less ready. I'll get to the attachment things because there's some stuff I got to know about that stuff too. But we also need to get the Megazord ready. So things you want to do. Well, remove this thing from his hand. Get the arms all straightened out. Straighten out the head. And collapse these down. And move the little horns back like that. That's ready to go. And also, you take the tail and move it back. And it says to do the instructions. I don't think you need, absolutely 100% need to do this, but it says to do it. But you want to take these the hips and slide them out. I guess gives it a wider standing base, so it's a little easier. Yeah. From there, take the dragon thing. You want to be really careful. Make sure everything is straightened out. Make sure of it. And when you put this on, make sure to watch the little head crest thing on the Megazord. Watch it, and you want to kind of feed it through forward like this, and then come down, like so. On the back side here, this you want to put down, and then this tail actually, the tail here will actually clip into place right there. Once it's lined up, there, it clips into place, and that's part of it. And there you go, that part. This bit, you want to actually take this piece right here and move it down like that. On this part, yeah, just accidentally. There we go. Yeah, just accidentally undid it. That's the other thing is I forgot. This piece also clips in there. I didn't do that part. There we go. That clips in. Then you clip that in. That holds it, and also put that back. One thing is, yeah, it's kind of like this was very much feel like an afterthought compared to before, because now it's kind of wants to topple backwards. But yeah, right here. On this piece, you want to move this part out, right there, and then, yeah, so you see that this bit right here, and then this all plugs in like right here. That plugs in. Oop, caught it barely. Yeah, see, that's a lot of weight. This, oh no, the tail's too long. Well, actually, what you want to do is, believe it's this one, yeah. You want to separate there and here. And then you take this piece and pop it on, like that. And then same with, as before, on this side, you, on this side, you move this little peg out. Make sure to line up. There's a hole there. Right there. See that hole? And click it in place. There's a little warning on there. And there you go. You got this done. There is a little warning on in the instructions, which is this. See that? It's touching the ground. It warns that there will be paint scrapage if you're not careful, so be careful with this. you're putting in this mode, be careful. This is nice because this is a cloth surface, so that won't scrape. But just be warned of that. But yeah, you can see it's the full-blown dude. The full-blown, whatever they want to call it. It's the Ultra Combined mode that will go with Titanus when it comes out. Because, yeah, they confirmed Titanus is coming. Yeah, it combines a little differently. There's no shoulder latches like before. It kind of more or less relies on weight now. Just kind of sheer weight to keep it in place. Because, yeah, it's heavy like this. It is not exactly light. And, yeah, that's part of the reason why they want you to slide the hips out a little bit. So there's a little bit wider stance just to help him out just a tiny bit. Because he's pretty wide and heavy and all that stuff. The shoulders can kind of move, but there's little tabs there, but they can still move. So he can still hold the sword. His sword. Like this. If you want him to. Still got that. He can still hold the Mastodon, but I'm not going to put there. Yeah, you can tell he's just very bulky. Whatnot in this. Yeah, this came undone again. Yeah, I'm noticing that the tab there is not super secure, but that's mostly just to hold this in place. But yeah, I'm gonna grab the original again, even though they're both large. I'm gonna have to do some weird stuff. Yep, you can see original. Yeah, you can see the original is just generally larger, but weight-wise, he can't hold a candle. Also, this guy can still move and stuff. Oh, theoretically. He can still pose, theoretically, just... You probably don't want to pose him because he'll probably fall over if you move anything the wrong way. Because now he's really top-heavy. Yeah, you can see the... Well, kind of see. You can see the two of them side by side like this. You can see, yeah... You can see that the old original one is still quite massive comparatively, but it's not a bad job, I think. Where's that? He's big, he's bulky, he's heavy, and I'm a little scared. Yeah, this thing is not, I think this thing's not exactly super stable like this. And so just be careful. If you're going to put them on the shelf like this, be really careful and watch it. I would not be surprised if, like, you know, vibrations and stuff will make it slowly start to bend backwards. Yeah, those knees just practically gave when I did that. So, yeah, be really careful with this guy. And of course, the final mode, which we'll get to right now. I'm gonna pull these bits off. Again, be careful. You're doing so. They go on pretty tight, and yeah, I'm a little worried about scuffing the paint on that one. Pull it off. Put that off to the side. And untap them back here. Oop, well, that has to come off anyway, so yeah. Pull those off. Untap them back here. Untap this bit. Untap that and lift up. And once again, watch for the little crest on the Megazord head. Now, of course, what you need to do is, well, untap the pterodactyl, put them off to the side, and yeah, start taking it apart. Because you need these pieces off for this final mode. The, what was it called? The Dragonzord fighting mode, apparently. Huh. Yeah, and the other one was called the Mega Dragonzord. Go figure. But yeah, from here it's pretty easy. Ow, watch your fingers. Move this all back together, like so. And clip it back together, like that. Take these pieces and move them forward, and they will clip together like that. Oop, yeah, clip all that together. Move this crest down again. Well, actually, before you do that, make sure to close this up, then move the crest down, and that will close up like that. Move the face down like that. Adjust these as necessary. And yeah, you're pretty much ready to go. Make sure these are straightened out like that. That's ready to go. So you need to make sure to line it up and click into place. Click into place. That's the weird thing is I can't seem to get this to 100% tab together right here, and I don't know what it is. I must be missing something maybe? It seems like something's I don't know. Seems like something's not quite lining up. Might be my copy, might be something, I don't know. Yeah, get those clipped into place. And of course, this bit. And tab it on. Little tabs and slots right there. Click and boom. Although these feet, the problem is the ankle joints. I wish there was like a little button to lock the ankle joints into place on for the Dragonzord so that they're not, going all over the place. You can see they kind of stick out a little further than the original does. But yeah, there you go. It's the Dragonzord fighting mode. You can see that. And it looks pretty neat. It works really well. It's kind of bulky, and yeah, it's got most of the same posability the Megazord has. He doesn't have unfortunately no head articulation just because that's a solid piece. Yeah, that's forward and back, outward, biceps swivel, elbows, wrist swivels, ball jointed thumb, individually articulated fingers. They all are individual articulated. Yes, I messed that up. No waist because of how it transforms, but he does have his ab crunch still. Although it's not as much of a danger, but still be careful of paint rubbing. Yeah, he has an ab crunch still in this mode. There's that. No waist, but he's got that. Hips, forward and back a little bit. Forward mostly, not really back. Outward is non-existent, unfortunately. Knees are still there. Move about that far. Yeah, it's I guess Dragonzord fighting mode. Looks nice. Now he's got his smaller staff here. You can see that. Well, it's the separate piece. You see he's got the separate small thing. Now, I believe I have to double check this. But yeah, with this bigger one, what you want to do is from here. You got this stuff. What you want to do is pop that back off. And pop it back onto here. Like so. Make sure these all straightened out. And then pop these onto here. Like that. Now you got the full staff. Again. This is the full size staff and it's got a little handle right here. And hold that just fine. Although you gotta wrap it around his fingers. Wrap it around his fingers and boom. You can hold it just fine. Like that. Works just very well. Works very, very well. And of course, it's actually the alternate version of the staff, this one is actually pretty cool what they did here. So you actually take that out of his hand right here. Close that up. Pop this back off. Put that off to the side. Attach the tail back together. Like so. Make sure it's all straightened out. Like this. And here's the cool bit. What you want to do is open this up. Like that. And from here, pull this out. Pulls out like this. Straighten out this handle, this staff piece right here. And then you want to, this actually opens up. It's easier to poke your finger in and just push it rather than try to pull it out. It makes it a little easier. So pull that out and then send that out and close this back up like so. Close this up. A little stubborn sometimes. Doesn't like to latch sometimes. I don't know why. All right, I forgot this bit right here. You got to collapse that up into here. Yeah, I got to move this part out of the way, or else it doesn't work. There we go. I gotta close that all up, and take the entire tail piece, and this piece right here, you got to pull this out. Take the tail piece and make sure it's lined up properly, and yeah, now you got the crazy one that's got the ridiculously long tail, and you got this handle, and yeah. You got the crazy long handle, or the crazy long one with the crazy long dragon tail. Which, yeah, it's kind of little. That one's a little unwieldy, but it's there. Get that out of the way for now, though, because I want to compare it to the original guy. There you go. The original. You can see, yep, the original is quite a bit taller. So, but the original is also kind of thicker. Draw your own conclusions. So yeah, you can see that. Yeah, this one's more proportionate to like a normal person versus this, which is ridiculously, yeah. But yeah, this one's thicker. But yeah, this one's nice and heavy, really heavy. Again, because it's all that die cast. So it's yeah, it's a really nice thing. So here's the thing about Dragonzord. Dragonzord is only worth it if you already have the Megazord, I feel. Or you're just a huge fan of Green Ranger and Dragonzord and all that stuff. But it's only really worth it as Dragonzord. It is a $175 add-on for the Megazord Soul of Chogokin release. If you do not have the Megazord, don't bother with this guy. I mean, they just reissued and everything, but he, as the Dragonzord itself is pretty limited. It's mostly a display piece with very limited articulation. This is very much a big accessory, more or less. $175 for me, anyway. $175 or so for, you know, to get this guy. It works really well. It combines really well. It, you know, all the gimmicks and stuff. I really actually kind of like this transforming staff thing. But yeah, it's not exactly cheap, and yes, it is very much a designed to be an accessory for the Megazord. If you don't have the Megazord, don't get him. It's that simple, I feel. Unless you're, again, a huge fan of Dragonzord. But it doesn't have a lot of articulation. It's kind of, yeah, it very much is a glorified add-on. As a standalone, it's not worth it. It's only worth it if you're getting the Megazord. And I guess if you're getting the Titanus coming up, which they announced, and that I'm not sure if I'm going to get him because he's going to be big and expensive, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know yet. Maybe. But he's kind of cool. But not really. He's not worth $175 unless you already have the Megazord or intend to get the Megazord. On his own, he's kind of basic, unfortunately. So only get him in conjunction with the Megazord, and definitely not by himself. He is kind of a weak release otherwise. His articulation is still kind of lame, and I'm shocked how at the hips in particular, those should not be that limited. It makes no sense to me why the hips are so limited for a big expensive toy like this. It makes no sense to me, especially with the ankle tilts as they are. It feels like there's supposed to be more, but there isn't. Or there is more, and I don't know how to do it right. That would not surprise me either. But yeah, only get this guy if you're have the Megazord or getting the Megazord. Otherwise, skip. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you found this informative or entertaining. And if you did, I hope you like, comment, or subscribe below. And I shall see you next time with another video review.